Hello everybody, my name is Matthias and welcome to my channel. We are not playing a gaming video this time, and instead we are kind of doing some kind of ranting video, if you have to give it a name. So anyway, early this morning, for me it's morning, it could be yesterday for you, Overwatch has announced their open beta and early access and launch, their real launch, not just any beta, not alpha, not whatever, a proper launch which will be on the May 24th, 2016. So for those who doesn't know, Overwatch is a first-person shooter published by Blizzard, and this game has gotten a lot of hype. It has been rated as one of the most anticipated games in history, and I've talked a little bit about it in one of my early videos. I can't exactly remember which videos, but I did talk about it because I was really excited about the game. I was really looking forward for it, but then there was a couple of issues. First, it was supposed to be a free game, or at least what we thought was a free game, and that became a paid game. Open beta became a closed beta. What was supposed to be released on July 2015, and now they say they're going to open the launch on May 24th, 2016. So it's been like a 1-year wait, and that created a lot of controversy. That causes a lot of hates and harassments towards the Overwatch and the team. And I'll be frank, I am one of them. So we kind of call ourselves the only watchers because the summary of the issue was just that a very small amount of people get to play the game, which are the closed beta, while the rest of us kind of just wait in frustration, and that causes a lot of tension between us and Jeff Kaplan and team. Jeff Kaplan is the director of Overwatch, by the way. So last week, they actually made a video to address the only watchers issues, which was something pretty weird because for up till since last week, Blizzard has been very quiet towards people who were ranting or people who were overthrowing their frustration. And a lot of times when they give like development updates videos, it's always about feedbacks, it's always about how to improve the game. It's always towards the community in the closed beta, and they never really go out to the community who did not get access to the closed beta. And I was one of them, and I was pretty frustrated. And if you see like some of the last few development updates, I tend to write like really long comments. It's kind of like this thick. So I tend to be pretty ranty. Like I'll be honest, I talk a lot. Anyway, aside from the point, the video kind of addresses the issue about the only watchers, about how the video wasn't that much. I'll put a link in the video down in the description, but it wasn't much, just pretty much just to address the issue. There wasn't really like a big announcement or anything, but I do applaud Overwatch and the Blizzard team and Jeff Kaplan for doing a video like that. Even though I do throw some hate in the comment, I do feel like it's a good step for Blizzard to reach out to people who has been having so much frustration issues. 1 week later, which was today or yesterday, depending when you are watching this or when I'm even uploading this, Blizzard and Jeff Kaplan has announced the launch date, which was 24th May, which is a really good news. And despite the fact that I consider this as a ranting video, I still want to say that the news is a generally good news. The fact that we know a date, or at least the current date, they may change it in the future, we never know. It's not the first time that happens. But the fact that there's a date kind of overrides all the negative points I'm about to say. Just want to put it out there before I say anything, because I'm pretty sure Overwatch fans will probably hate me for this. Aside from the launch date, they also announced an open beta. The open beta will be sometime, I think, between 5th to 9 May, about 2 or 3 weeks before the launch. The open beta concept was kind of to address the issue that some of the players or people who have not access to the closed beta felt like they deserve a chance to play the game or to test it out before they actually purchase the game, which is a very valid point. Not very, but it is a valid point, and I think it's really great that Blizzard decided to consider that feedback. It's actually one of the biggest feedback among the only watchers, and they actually consider it, and I think that's a pretty good idea to give people a chance to actually play before they purchase. And I think a lot of games doesn't do that. A lot of games either you purchase or you don't play at all. And the fact that Blizzard is willing to do that, I felt that was a really good move of them. Whether it's strategic, whether it's marketing, I do not know. It doesn't really matter, but we can just move on from there. So the main point of this video, what I want to talk about, is kind of this idea of open early access open beta, which Blizzard has offered to people who have pre-purchased or pre-ordered the games. I'm being one of them. Will be able to access the game at about on 3rd May or 4th May. Again, this is date based on what was on the currently released. They could change the date. And a lot of people were really positive towards the idea. They said, oh, I get additional days to play the game. I get to be a bit early. I get to, you know, play the game a bit early. And the way Jeff Kaplan said in the video to, you know, when he announced it, he was kind of saying that it's kind of like a compensation. It's kind of like a vote of a thank you for the vote of confidence, or something along that line. And at first, I wasn't that receptive of the whole idea of early beta. I mean, early open beta. It's kind of like a closed beta only for the pre-purchaser. But when I was reading through the comments, a lot of people gave a lot of good reviews. And understandably, in the, I don't know, the outer, from looking from the outer perspective, yes, it's a pretty good benefit. You get to play 2 days extra earlier than the rest of the people. But I kind of make a comment. You can actually check out the video. I kind of put a really long comment. I'm not sure if the comment's still up there, but I put a pretty long comment, kind of just express my point of view of that time. However, as I begin to sit down and I kind of scroll down the comments, I've seen more and more positive comments that I felt like were not, I don't know, it just didn't feel like the whole benefit deserved that kind of comment, kind of positive remarks. And there's some people saying that, oh, I feel so special, that I'm a pre-purchaser, I feel special, and now I have this warm and fuzzy feeling inside, or something along that line. And the more I sit on it, the more I think about it, the more I realize that this whole idea of open beta is actually sort of a marketing gimmick. You know, at first I didn't think much, but I just thought it was kind of just a strategy, kind of just something. I mean, and yeah, I agreed it wasn't that beneficial, but I kind of just stopped there. But like I said, as I sit down on it, I think about it, I begin to think this is more of marketing skills, marketing strategy, which it's not really a bad thing. It's just something which I felt like I want to at least voice out, something I want to say, and you know, at least to the public, at least to the people of Only Watchers, you know, my people for almost 1 year plus. You know, it's kind of like my contribution to the community, at least my perspective, my opinion. You may respect it or not. You might hate me for that, but this is just my opinion. So what I want to say is that kind of like the summary is that if you have pre-purchased a game already, it doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect you, it doesn't affect me, because it's kind of something which, you know, we already buy the game, it's done and passed, we get the additional 2 days early access, which is great, woohoo, yaha, whatever. But I'm kind of talking about those who has not purchased the game, because this early access thing, the Blizzard is giving the players who has not purchased, to purchase up to April 29, I think 24, 29, something like that, to purchase to get the additional 2 days extra. You know, so it's kind of like about 2 more months for you to purchase the game before the open beta, and then you get to have additional 2 days free access. And that is kind of the point I want to talk about, because I personally feel like if you have not purchased the game, you should not purchase it now. You should wait at least until the beta finish, or you should at least wait until some kind of future announcement, because so far, from what my perspective, from my view so far, I don't think it's right. I think you earn more, or your value for the product is much more if you don't purchase it now. How I want to explain this is that I'll give you three scenarios, different people on different stages of the whole purchasing open beta free thing scenarios, and I'll use like mathematics, I use theories, and I'll try to illustrate as much as possible to show you why I think of this way. But first of all, before we begin, I just want to say that if you look at the timeline, because if I'm not too sure did Jeff Kaplan actually talk about it, because it was pretty blurrish to me, the timeline. But from what I understand, at least for now, Blizzard is planning to close the closed beta on the 2nd of May, and they're going to open the closed beta for pre-orders from 3rd to 4th May, and then from 5th May to 9th May, it will be an open beta. Everyone gets to join. And if you see, it's kind of like a one stretch of events. It's kind of a back-to-back thing. So there really isn't like a lot of gap in between. At least for now, that's the current plan. There is not a lot of gap. So it's kind of something to say that, logically speaking, it's something that's very concurrently. It's kind of eventing. It's not like a beta where they do a closed beta, then they tweak something in between before they have the open beta or the closed beta for the pre-orders. It's a back-to-back thing. So in a way, you can also say that they have already given us like 7 days for open beta. So there's the 3rd to 4th day for the pre-purchasers, and then the 5th to 9th day for the rest of the world. Is it 5, 7? It's around 7 days. I don't exactly remember the date, but it's around there. What I'm trying to say, and I think I make it a little bit confusing, was that they have already want to forego 7 days. It's a 7 days of open beta which they already plan to forego. So there is a certain cost for them to give out the 7 days. So while giving additional, we are splitting it into 5 days for open beta and 2 days for a closed beta for pre-purchases. This closed beta pre-purchase doesn't have that much value, or pretty much it has 0 value, because the total value is 7 days. Regardless whether you have 7 days of open beta or 5 days of open beta and 2 days of the pre-purchase beta, or just 5 days of open beta, they're still going to forego 7 days of open beta. Pretty much that is the idea, and what I'm trying to say is the 2 additional days in Blizzard's point of view has no value. I'm not sure if you get it, but we'll try to explain it as we go on, and I'm going to start giving up the 3 assumptions right now. The first scenario is we're going to talk about is you purchase the game after the open beta. After the launch of the beta, it doesn't matter, but the point is you did not play the free trial, you did not go through the beta, but you decided to purchase the game regardless. So you pay about $40 US for an unlimited access to the game. By unlimited, I meant that you get access to all characters, you get to access all the maps, or at least that was what Blizzard so far has promised us. But what I'm trying to say is that if you purchase the game after the finish of the open beta, you pretty much pay $40 or $39.90, something like that, $40 for unlimited access for the game. Okay, that is scenario number 1. So scenario number 2, so let's say you have already pre-purchased the game early, and pretty much you did not know about the whole early access. You were not aware, like me, you purchased like 3 months ago, weeks ago, and you're not aware of the whole early access benefits. Despite that, you still paid $40, and besides you still pay $40 for the same game. You're still paying $40 for the unlimited access for all 21 characters, for all the maps, and pretty much gameplay wise there is no difference whether you pre-purchase now or you purchase after the game. The only difference is you purchase it much earlier. So in the third scenario is that you have not pre-purchased the game, and you saw this thing where they say that, oh, you pre-purchase now early before April 29, you get to have additional access for 2 days. So let's say you decided to accept the additional 2 days. Let's say you decided to purchase the game for additional 2 days. Essentially what you're doing is you're paying $40 for an unlimited access plus 2 days. So when you think about it, it is unlimited access plus 2 days equals unlimited access. What I'm trying to say is that the 2 days has no value, because Blizzard has no intention of, when Blizzard give out the additional 2 days, there is no value to the 2 days. The whole 7 days is already a value which they already spent. The additional 2 days has no value by itself. So it kind of translates into when you decided to purchase for that additional 2 days, you're actually purchasing for 0 value. There is no value to it. You're still paying $40 for an unlimited access of the game. There is no difference between whether you pre-purchase it before or you're going to purchase it after. There is no difference. The difference is you get to play additional 2 days early, but let's be real, 2 days early is not a big deal. It's not that much of a big deal. You can just wait out the 2 days, and it doesn't really make you that special. It's not a really great grand benefit. And the only benefit I could see is that maybe there'll be less traffic, maybe there'll be less lag, there'll be less problem, less bug, because there'll be not as many people in the game. This of course under the assumption that the open beta that you'll be faced more gameplay issue, you'll face more lagging issue, you'll be facing more queuing issue, or just general gameplay issues. But if the quality of the gameplay is the same with both the open beta and the closed beta, the closed beta for the purchasers is the same, then essentially the additional 2 days has no value. If you just wait out for the additional 2 days, why not? It's just additional 2 days. And not to mention that 2 days is kind of a weekday, so it's like during schooling, it's during working hours, and I mean you get to play when you come back home, but that's all you get to play. It's not like a one full day, it's like a weekend where that's when the open beta is going to be is. But of course it kind of depending on your perspective, depending how you see. If you get to play additional 2 days early is important to you, or maybe you do believe that playing the additional 2 days where there's less traffic is there will be more significant difference to it, maybe you're right, maybe there will be a value there for you. But from my perspective right now, it's unlimited access plus 2 days equals unlimited access, and essentially the 2 days has no value. But of course, you're gonna ask me like, so if there's no value, why bother? I don't mind paying now. If there's no difference in value, I'm not reducing any value, there's no reduction in value, why do I care if I purchase it now or later or before or what, it doesn't matter. Which is true, you are right. By that concept, there is no decrease in value. Maybe there's a slight increase in value, but there is no decrease in value. But when you look on the other side of the view, if let's say you did not pre-purchase, let's say you decided to go for the open beta and decided not to go for the additional 2 days. You say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to sit out, I'm just going to wait for the open beta, I'm going to play the open beta, and then I'm going to decide if I want to purchase the game. When you look at that perspective, you have more power right now. You have that $40 which you initially wanted to use to purchase a game you have never tried before. Now you have that $40 to choose whether do you want to spend it on this game after trying out in open beta. If you choose not to buy the game, essentially is you pay $0 US, you pay $0 for no unlimited access, but for 5 days of free trial. For $0, you get 5 days of free test run, and that itself is a value for someone who did not pay a single cent. Unlike those who's already pre-purchased, you don't get to enjoy that because you already purchased the entire thing. There is no free test run for you anymore. You already purchased the game, the whole game, no free test run. You don't get that value anymore. And let's say if you decided to choose to buy the game after the free beta, that will be paying $40 for the unlimited access plus 5 days of free test run. So yeah, I know it sounds pretty weird, like it doesn't make sense, like mathematically it sort of makes sense, but it doesn't really make sense like in logical fact. But what I'm trying to say is that the fact that the whole idea of the open beta is so that people who have not purchased the game get to decide if that game is worth it for you. That itself is a very huge value. And if you decided to forego and decide to go pre-purchase early, you're pretty much foregoing the entire concept of the open beta. The open beta is for you to decide if it's a game worth $40. And that is why that is a very huge value to it. And if you decide to pre-purchase early, you're pretty much foregoing the entire value for additional 2 days. Like I said, value is a very, in economics terms, value is a very very subjective point of view. Economics tends to put quantity into value, but in realistic, it's kind of different between me and different between you. So if you do feel like the 2 additional days is really valuable, if you do feel like additional days you feel like it's really valuable, if you do feel like playing in a much smaller crowd would be much more beneficial for you, then go ahead. Thinking from my perspective, do I regret pre-purchase the game? Yes, I regret pre-purchase the game because I was under the impression there was no open beta at all. I was under the impression it's going to be like a lot of other games where I tried, where you either purchase the game or you never get to play the game at all. And I was being frustrated, and as much as I rant about Overwatch in general, I still pre-purchase it. I do feel like it was a mistake. As soon as Jeff has announced that, I feel great there was a release date. Like I said, the release date is an awesome news regardless of anything. It's just that if given the choice, I'd rather not pre-purchase it. I'd rather play the open beta first, you know, actually see the game, actually see the community, actually feel the game by myself. Maybe I will reconsider, you know, you never know. But like I say, it's a different people has a different view. Maybe in the open beta, you might not be able to play certain games. Like I'm pretty sure sniper characters like Widowmaker will be very popular, Tracer will be very popular, Mercy and Lucio will be very popular, McCree, Soldier 76, something like that. I'm pretty sure they're very popular. You might have a bit difficulty actually playing those characters in the open beta. So if you play maybe like closed beta just among the pre-purchasers, maybe you'll be able to access those characters a bit more. But again, you're under the assumption that the pre-purchase group are significantly smaller. You know, they're small enough to make a difference. Yeah, that's all I want to say. And kind of like a ranting video. I just came back from work, as you can see. It's really hot. I'm really bored. I decided to make a video about that. Alright guys, that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.